The P. Diddy scandal has finally uncovered just how dark and twisted those in control of our culture really
Oh my god, man. Oh my god, is that Ozzy Osbourne? And Kelly Osbourne?
are. From some of the most disturbing sex parties ever recorded, sleepovers with a teenage Justin Bieber, funding and controlling your favorite celebrities, hosting his own Love Island where he took people off the radar.
I got an island, it's called Love Island.
If not worse than Epstein. He had his own island? Oh, Lord.
You going off the grid with me, you gotta go to sleep for a week.
Freak-off parties, whilst also allegedly taking down some of the most iconic musicians in the industry. The P. Diddy situation is truly disturbing, and now that he's in custody, only time will tell what's going to happen next. But the fact that this has been going on secretly behind the closed doors of the Hollywood elite for decades shows just how well covered this truly was. But now finally, the truth is unraveling in front of our very eyes. P. Diddy—
This is probably the biggest deal in the last like 100 years in terms of like music, celebrity drama. Definitely, because it involves like, apparently it involves like Michael Jackson and like Beyonce and her husband. It's a big deal, apparently.
Needs hardly any introduction. Before he was infamous for his crimes, he was at the top of society. He rubbed shoulders with some of the most powerful celebrities in the world. He knew everyone in the music industry, from Jay-Z, Beyonce, Snoop Dogg, to Biggie Smalls, and even Justin Bieber. However, this recent case has exposed how truly twisted the celebrity elite's—
Usher and Pink delete all tweets on X amid Diddy's recent arrest. No shot! They cleaned out their Twitter? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Someone's got red hands.
truly are. The investigation began initially in November 2023 by Sean's ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Cassie Ventura. She accused him of misconduct and filed a lawsuit. Cassandra and P. Diddy then settled out of court the very next day, and one of his lawyers, Ben Braffman, was clear that it was by no means an admission of wrongdoing. P. Diddy then released a statement wishing Cassandra the best in order to further support the idea that he was innocent, but guilty or not, it certainly left a stain on his name.
You can wish someone well even if you're a piece of shit. I'm just gonna say that.
Cassandra then released a statement thanking her friends and family for their support, and the settlement amount was left undisclosed. It seemed to be a case closed, done and dusted job, or at least that's what he thought. Little did P. Diddy know that this would be the beginning of the end for him, and would start the ball rolling with many accusations and investigations that would lead to his demise. A further 2 lawsuits were then filed, with accusations of abuse and sexual assault by 2 other women.
Revenge corn. Oh my god, took turns. Cheese and crackers, man.
Joy Dickerson claimed that in 1991, when she was just a 19-year-old college student, P. Diddy had drugged her after a date and sexually assaulted her in her home. Lizard Gardner was the next victim to come forward, claiming she and a friend were drugged and put in separate rooms where at first, P. Diddy and then Aaron Hall would do awful sexual acts against them. She then found out her friend had the exact same treatment as well, as it seems like they both took turns doing these awful crimes against these girls. Lizard was just 16 at the time, and then a few days—
Oh, this is a house layout. I was wondering. I was like, this kind of looks like a diagram.
Days later, P. Diddy pitched up at her house and assaulted her again, this time choking her until she passed out.
Because he was worried she might divulge what happened? You're choking her out, man. Yo, sometimes I think that we should bring back like chopping people's nuts off or something. Yeah, I think we should start doing that again. Some people kind of deserve it. And by kind of, I mean they really do deserve it. Passed out like no, like passed out like she left consciousness.
As he was irritated at the thought that Lizard might mention this to his girlfriend. Then in December 2023, another person came forward with more accusations aimed at him. She claimed that she had been gang raped and sex trafficked. She said that
the chairman,
Harvey Pierre, who was the president of Combs Bad Boy Records, flew her from Detroit to New York in 2023. However, while with them, a third man joined P. Diddy and Pierre and raped her. P. Diddy even—
So lock him up too, you Pete. What?
Even complained that he couldn't finish until he had his nipples pinched. The suit included a photograph
I'm sorry. I'm just. I know I'm pausing a lot, but like, holy.
From the night in question of her sitting on Sheen's lap, she was only 17 then, and was now the fourth woman to come forward in just a matter of weeks. This time, P. Diddy did not settle out of court. In fact, he issued a statement on his Instagram saying, quote, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, and my legacy."
Yeah, this definitely aged well, huh, chat? I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of these awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth. But there were several red flags hinted by friends of P. Diddy, particularly in Usher's interview with Howard Stern, where subtle suggestions indicate that these new allegations were possibly founded as...
That's why he deleted. He wiped his Twitter. He wiped his Twitter for evidence. People are gonna go way back machine and find all screenshots, man. The internet does not forget, man. Some evidence might be lost, but the internet does not forget.
Far back as 2016, back when the interview took place, as Usher described his experiences when he lived with Sheen Coon for a year, and said he was exposed to some very curious things, but at that age, he didn't understand it.
Wait, what? When he lived with Diddy for a year at 13. Oh, he wasn't 13, I was confused.
Didn't understand it.
I moved to New York City. And
No, wait, he did live at 13. What? Why are you living with an adult man at 13? It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. What? Why not? Because you're not related and it's weird. Where are the parents? Does he have custody of him? What's going on?
I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it was
Camp.
called. Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
Not really.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, but that's scary.
you were 13. What were you
I
saying?
went there to see the lifestyle. I don't know if I could indulge and understand.
At 13? Okay, I understand at like 18 years old, you're like, oh yeah, like all these hot chicks and shit. What?
And what I was even looking at, it was pretty wild. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Chat, when you see that kind of shit when you're 13, it like actually messes with your mental. Like it fucks you up. I've watched way too many crime documentaries of like kids being forced to grow up essentially, and it fucks with your head. It psychologically like damages you.
It's only now that it stands out because it further supports the allegations. When Howard asked Usher if he would allow his own son to participate in the Puffy Flavor Camp, as P. Diddy would call it, Usher didn't hesitate to say no.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Okay, at least he's honest. He's like, hell no. Yeah, because he lived it, man.
In a Rolling Stone interview with Usher in 2004, he elaborated on his experiences with living with P. Diddy. He said there was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen. With this,
And that's what he's allowed to say, by the way. Imagine the shit that he's not allowed to say. Nah.
in mind, it wasn't that surprising that by February 27th, 2024, the producer of P. Diddy's album, The Love Album, sued P. Diddy for $30 million for sexual assault. He claimed that he was also drugged and woke up in a bed with 2 male sex workers and Mr. P. Diddy himself.
Dude, the guy can't even control himself. He literally drugs people and... That's disgusting. I don't even know what to say.
The lawsuit included P. Diddy's son Justin, who he claimed would bring underage girls home and then drug them, while his dad secretly filmed these sexual acts. Although an adult film actor called D'Angelo Knockout Marquise claimed that one of the photos used in the lawsuit was actually a still from one of his films. Although perhaps discredited, where there's smoke, there's fire. And P. Diddy was now desperately trying to put the fires out as more and more—
I remember this. This is so funny to watch. This TikTok where he's like, I'm really sorry, you guys. I beat my wife or whatever it was. I can't remember. He's like, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to. It was a moment of weakness.
took to flame. P. Diddy actually admits that he did document everything in his life, so any sexual male acts could have easily been caught on tape, and the fear of that exposure will keep some from coming forward as well.
Yeah, it's a little blackmail, yeah.
Oh, Gene Deal, P. Diddy's former bodyguard, said in an interview that the freak-off included P. Diddy having sex with male escorts that his then-girlfriend was forced to find.
Looking at this lawsuit, she alleges that, Diddy, he'll make her look online for BBCs for their freak-off sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs.
And she was searching for the big black, not only for herself, but for somebody else who we all know that was in the room with her.
Look, if you're into that and you're an adult, I don't know, man. If you want to be a freak in your own place and you're both adults and you're doing this because you're freaky, just keep it away from everyone else, man. What are you doing, bro? Oh my god, man. And then there's kids walking around finding your wife and you watching her get smashed. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's disgusting.
They had to be for both of them. They was in the room.
P. Diddy would make them wear masks to keep their identity from Casey.
She also alleges that, while she was having sex with these male prostitutes, the male prostitutes, and Diddy, they all wore masquerade masks.
Dude, this security guard, bodyguard, whatever, has seen some shit, man. Look at his eyes. He's like, I seen some shit, man.
He didn't want her to know who they were.
Which is why on March 25th, 2024, P. Diddy's homes in both LA and Miami were raided by the Department of Homeland Security Investigations in New York. The raid was part of the investigation of sex trafficking led by the Southern District of New York, perhaps prompted by the now 5 victims who had come forward, one of which was a male who also chose to remain anonymous. Because of this, the investigators seized guns and P. Diddy's phone on the day of the raid. It was reported that over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant were found on the property.
See, this is where I was like, bro, this has got to be fake, because the first time I heard it, I misheard it. I thought it said 100 bottles. And I said, who the hell needs 100 bottles? And then I got corrected and someone said, yeah, it's not 100, Alana, it's 1,000. And I was like, excuse me? Am I mistaken? They're like, yes, it's 1,000. Why do you even, what are you gonna do? Run out of baby oil? How? What do you do? Drown yourself? Do you eat it? Do you drink it? What?
Usual find would be laughable if it weren't so incriminating to the horrific charges.
Exactly.
It only supported flying rumors of sex parties that would go on for days with drugged up women and male escorts, all performing sexual acts in the quote freak off to satisfy P. Diddy's endless need for lust. In the Los Angeles home, P. Diddy's sons were also put in handcuffs during the raid. It was reported by their mother that the federal agents used excessive unnecessary force and that it was just racially motivated. But it couldn't be any further from the truth.
These guys are just doing their job. They don't know. They had guns in there. What do you mean? They had guns in there. Of course you're gonna be fucking freaking out and raiding them and putting them hands behind their back. What? It's for their safety and everyone else.
Everyone allegedly involved was being taken down, and over the coming months, the truth would unravel about how truly disturbing this Hollywood celebrity culture truly was.
Yeah, the motivation was there, but it wasn't racial, man. If anything, it's because you're a rich fuck who's gross and disgusting.
Now, P. Diddy's parties are known to be insane, as you can probably tell by the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. At these parties, it was reported that the drugs offered were all designed so that party participants could go on for hours having sex. There was a drink called the 2C, which was dosed with a bunch of drugs.
Oh my god. A cocktail of drugs that they dubbed? Isn't that more evidence? Baby oil isn't illegal. There's no reason to seize it. It wasn't baby oil. Okay, hold on. I know this is going to be like really mind-blowing for you, but when you see something, it's for evidence. Like, it might not be for nefarious purposes, but everything that you do in like a building, it's considered evidence. That's what's called seizing. It's like you're acquiring it for evidence. Yeah, like there's nothing wrong with owning some baby oil, but this is like 1,000 bottles. It's all in your house. It's evidence.
Jaguar Wright explained this in an interview, as she said that P. Diddy would put in Special K, also known as ketamine, to relax your muscles.
Now, if they would put horse tranquilizer in people? Can't you kill someone like that if you like misdose them? Yeah, if you misdose them or whatever, like you overdose them, like you can kill them.
Don't know what cat is. Cat is what they call on the street Special K. It's a veterinary drug. It's a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
This was then mixed with cocaine and Viagra to counteract the negative side effect of limp noodle, as Jaguar described.
Yeah, but mixing drugs can also make you... This is so bad, man. Just literal zero, like, regard for anyone but yourself. Oh, it's so gross. I'm gonna throw up.
Creating the perfect mix to relax you while still keeping you completely energized for sex.
The cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle because of what the blood flow is. So you want to fuck with a half-hard dick all night. So that's why you have the Viagra, to make sure that the involuntarily stays hard while you're numbing your fucking self with the coke.
Jamie Foxx even said that he'd been to one of these parties, and is very likely that most people in the celebrity LA Hollywood culture would be partaking in this stuff, especially with the recent allegations coming forward in the last couple of weeks. And it's truly disturbing to think what was happening there. Recently, a video was shown by CNN of P. Diddy assaulting Casey.
Yeah, this is the one where he was apologizing on the TikTok for. I remember this.
Which further supported her claims. The video shows her trying to leave the hotel party, and P. Diddy had already given her a black eye by this point. In the video...
I saw this when it came out. He's literally naked. No, this is so normal, bro. About to be Diddified. She about to be Diddy gone.
P. Diddy's wearing nothing but a towel, and as he catches up to her, he violently pushes her down, then proceeds to kick her twice and tries to drag her down the hall. The footage shows further...
By the way, chat, this isn't like, oh, he like punched her. Like, obviously he's not going to show it because it's against YouTube to show violence. But he literally, like, I wish I could act it out for you, but he kind of goes, like beats her down. It's insane. Like, actual, like, full-on, like, animalistic rage.
Abuse when he throws a bunch of glass in her direction. It's obviously he's very intoxicated at the time, having just emerged from one of these awful parties. After this
it's all on camera. It's like this. Just people running at her with his towel on, like, bro, what the fuck?
Footage went public. P. Diddy posted an apology saying he was disgusted with himself when it happened, and that he's disgusted with himself now.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you gotta do that.
I'm sorry, I beat her senseless, chat. Oh my gosh.
Up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
He claimed that he sought help and went to rehab after the incident.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
The LA County District Attorney's Office also issued a statement saying that while the video was hard to watch, they could not use it for further action as the footage and incident
Oh yeah, the statute of limitations. Yeah, they couldn't prosecute him
beyond the timeline where it'd be of legal use. However,
I remember when we talked about this when it happened, like months ago. Some people are arguing and saying it was fucked up that they didn't prosecute, but I'm like, it's a statute of limitations. You can't do anything. Yeah, it sucks.
They encouraged others to come forward. It was explained that P. Diddy paid the hotel $50,000 for the footage so that it would not be leaked to the public. The sad reality is that this is the only incident caught in surveillance and actually exposed to the public. However, Casey's lawsuit was riddled with far more horrific accusations.
That girl went through some tumultuous shit that she never thought that she would ever have to go through being in the music business.
She claimed that P. Diddy would go into fits of rage and that she was his main target of savage beatings.
They went into the bedroom and shut the door, and all I could hear is screaming and yelling and whatever was going on in there, I don't know. But all I could think of was to grab Cassie's things and start packing it up and just getting her out to safety.
She claimed that he would drug her and force her to have sex with other men while he watched, filmed, and masturbated to her.
Man, the chair, bro. Yeah, the cuck lord. It's not even the cuck lord. Do you know what's worse? Is that, like, okay, what if Destiny and his wife are into it? They're into cucking. Okay, God bless. Do whatever you want. He forced her. He drugged her and... What a fucking scumbag, man. There's a special place in hell for people like this.
But this has since been dubbed as a freak-off, and as we mentioned, it's come up in many other accusations as well. She also claimed to try to leave him in 2018, which ended up with her getting odd. Casey also claimed that for a brief time she and Kid Cudi started a romantic relationship, but when P. Diddy found out about it, he threatened to set his car on fire and wanted to make sure that Kid Cudi was there when it happened. While it seemed like an idle threat, it did indeed happen. 2 weeks later, Kid Cudi's car was deliberately set alight.
And the police do nothing? What?
As for P. Diddy, this footage of the abuse could not have come at a worse time. He was already—
He blew up his car and he got away with it? Oh my god.
Being investigated, adding fuel to the fire. Women were coming forward with further accusations. And even men like the Michigan inmate Derek Lee Smith sued P. Diddy for $100 million and won by default. It seemed that P. Diddy didn't even show up to defend himself for this one. In Derek's suit, he claimed that while at a party in Detroit in 1997, he was a victim of groping and sexual assault by P. Diddy. And once these accusations started coming forward, people started realizing that P. Diddy was just the tip of a giant iceberg of a huge Hollywood conspiracy. You see, Eminem, who's known to rap out his opinions, recently dropped a line in his Kill Shot diss track, mainly aimed at Machine Gun Kelly, that brought up the possibility of P. Diddy's involvement in Tupac's murder.
Yeah, honestly, after the whole Kid Cudi thing, and having it blown up and getting away with it after he said that he would do it, yeah, I can see that. I could definitely 100% see that. Yeah, it wasn't a joke, huh? Yeah, who else did he get killed, huh?
The line that had fans reeling went, "Kel was the day you put out hits, the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Tupac killed," which was then followed by, "I'm just playing Diddy, you know I love you," and many share Eminem's suspicions, although there has been no real proof of it. It is possible that Eminem is not holding back as P. Diddy's record company Bad Boy Records is funding MGK, who is gunning for Eminem. But Eminem didn't stop there. In other songs like Antichrist, he brings up the video of P. Diddy and Casey and makes fun of possible reasons for P. Diddy to chase Casey. In another song, Fuel, he brings up the lawsuit and insinuates that P. Diddy tried to have Tupac's alleged murderer killed. In another song, Bad One, Eminem raps about P. Diddy possibly blowing up Kid Cudi's car. It hits such a nerve that P. Diddy he demanded a public apology from Eminem.
I'm still shocked they didn't find any evidence, like, of him threatening and then doing it.
He believed that the rapper had gone way too far and was doing more damage to his reputation in light of the new developments. Well, he's not wrong, because Eminem's fanbase outnumbers any other rapper, and they tend to be loyal and hang on to their every word. Especially when it comes to the disturbing life behind the scenes in the music industry and Hollywood world, people trust that Eminem isn't just making this up. All these allegations seem to stem from a time
Pac was a theater kid, no way Diddy wouldn't go for him. Well then, yeah, Yeah, well, and then he didn't give him what he wanted, so he got mad. Yeah.
Time when P. Diddy came off as a powerful icon in the industry.
Not getting what
this speaks to the intimidation and manipulations used to keep all those people quiet. In 1999, certain testimonies indicate that P. Diddy got away with a shootout in a club. At the same time, P. Diddy and his then girlfriend J. Lo went to the club and got into an altercation with Matthew Scar Allen. P. Diddy knocked a drink out of Matthew's hand, which sparked the violence, where P. Diddy threw money in his face as a sign of disrespect. As it got heated, both of them drew their guns and fired into the crowd. 3 victims survived to tell the tale, but one victim in particular stands out.
It's just... I don't know why I'm so shocked, but like, again, I'm not really that shocked. I do think that when this much money gets to your head, you think you're God.
Now, Tanya Rubin reports that she saw P. Diddy do the shooting while Sheen shot into the ceiling. She herself was shot in the face, and her testimony has not wavered since.
I watched them both fire their guns. I watched them, and that is exactly how I sit here today. Because some thug criminal with an attitude and an ego that was outside of control decided he was going to fire a gun in a crowded nightclub and shot me in my face.
She was so adamant about it that she offered to get bullet fragments removed from her skull to use as forensic evidence. However, P. Diddy was once again acquitted, with Shane taking the for being sentenced to 10 years in prison, pulling the strings behind the scenes once again, and P. Diddy got away scot-free. This was even brought up in Rodney's suit, as P. Diddy would tell him that
You think he bought off the entire jury? Again, I know it's possible. Do you really think he has that kind of money and power?
He even got away with shooting people and would display his guns to instill fear to keep Rodney silent and compliant. The more we uncover about P. Diddy's life, the more these testimonies start to line up a very dark picture of what it takes to actually succeed in the celebrity culture, and how truly powerful the people pulling the strings really are. P. Diddy just seems to be the tip of the iceberg. Just one guy who was so clumsy, made so many obvious mistakes, and became so hated by the industry that he's finally now being exposed. But who knows how many other people are out there doing the exact same thing or even worse. But soon another 2 victims would come forward. This time the model Crystal McKinney, who claimed she met P. Diddy in 2003 at a fashion event. He found her attractive and offered to help her with her career, and once he had her at his studio, he gave her alcohol and offered her laced marijuana, stating, "You've never had weed like this before." Quickly, she was very intoxicated, and P. Diddy took her into a bathroom and forced her to perform some certain acts. Later on, she woke up in a cab, but luckily remembered what had happened, and she kept her clothes in plastic if they were ever needed for forensics. But because of his power, she only filed the lawsuit in May of 2024. April Lamprose is another victim of a much older but longer case. In 1994, she would meet P. Diddy, as he offered to mentor her in pursuing a fashion career. However, this would turn into a lawsuit of 4 incidents where P. Diddy would sexually assault her over the next 6 or 7 years. If she refused his advances, he would go berserk, which almost made her feel obliged. P. Diddy then taped it all without her knowledge and had shown these clips to others. She felt like he had the power to ruin her career in an instant, so she always had to be careful.
Blackmail.
After a few years, she bumped into him again. This time he apologized for his behavior, but then fell straight back into his old tricks to lure her in. The indictment revealed that P. Diddy also threatened his victims, including by threatening to expose the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of freak-offs. If the woman...
Do you think he had like a mansion? Well, he has a mansion, but do you think he had one with like cameras everywhere, bro? Imagine the evidence during the freaking raid. The shit those police officers and raiders had to watch, man. Actual ratchet shit.
Didn't comply with his demands. Kidnapping, also one of the charges, was briefly mentioned in a joking manner in a Conan interview with P. Diddy, where he says, quote, "I don't know if you guys have noticed this, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. You need locks on the doors." And while the crowd laughs at the time, it's only in hindsight did we realize how disturbing the statement truly was.
Yeah, he was just telling the truth and everybody laughed at it. Yeah.
I don't know if guys have noticed this, like a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Right. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the doors.
Which is why last week on September 16th, 2024, P. Diddy was finally arrested at a hotel in Manhattan on charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. His lawyers claimed he intended to hand himself in, but wasn't awarded the chance. He also claimed that he had handed over his passport, but it was cleverly worded as he had only handed it over to his lawyer, not the federal government. The reason this is important is because he was trying to show that he was not a flight risk, and therefore able to be released on bail. If P. Diddy did try to leave the country, it would turn into a nightmare of trying to get him back. However, his lawyer would have discouraged this. Still, it didn't matter because the judge denied his bail. His lawyer then appealed bail on the 18th of September, offering $50 million, which was again denied. And P. Diddy is now facing up to life in prison should he be convicted.
I guess the judge they didn't have anything on the judge, huh? This time they had a judge that didn't have anything.
Of the long list of charges, including forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. P. Diddy and his team tried to silence many witnesses with bribes, but while his life went from expensive cars and parties with some of the most rich and famous pop stars in mansions and hotels, he's now confined to 4 walls of a prison cell, waking people up to how disturbing this Hollywood industry truly is. It's also known that the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where he's currently being detained, is known to be hell on earth. It's the same prison that housed R. Kelly, who faced very similar charges, and Mr. Jeffrey was also a former inmate before he was found dead.
Interesting. Same place, huh? Well, I mean, I kind of have my doubts, but, you know, sometimes history repeats itself. P. Diddy Steve. That's suspicious. Yeah, of all the places? I don't know.
Since the second appeal of bail was denied, P. Diddy has been put on S-Watch. His lawyers have said that they will fight this with all they have, as they believe he's innocent. But it's believed that the defense attorneys have an airtight case and are very confident that their investigation findings will secure a guilty verdict. Regardless of the outcome, his career is completely over. He's been exposed for all the vile stuff, and now the truth just seems to keep on unraveling. All his business colleagues and former friends have done everything they can to distance themselves from him. It appears that Usher's deleted a bunch of tweets to get some distance, and even though he claims he didn't do this, it does seem
yeah, he was hacked right before? Or was it during?
Very suspicious, and nobody really believes him. But many celebrities are too scared.
Well, he got groomed. I do feel for him, man.
To even speak out against P. Diddy, and some might fear the footage the feds have that could implicate them. It's been reported that Justin Bieber is so shocked by the crimes of P. Diddy that he's unwilling to talk about it. And after all the videos of him and Justin Bieber have surfaced back online, it's said that Justin's completely shut down. And you can only imagine some awful things have happened behind the scenes that we'll never truly know about. Justin, who once looked up to and admired the music mogul,
my bro at Diddy throwback. Yeah. Groomed since 13, now he's kind of fricked, huh?
Now regrets collaborating with P. Diddy on his latest album, and there's probably way more to it than just that. More information has also been leaked about how P. Diddy funded Bad Boy Records by drugging his guests with food and drinks and then filming orgies to blackmail the elite's high-profile guests. Castle Black made the claim, and said he had been waiting to come out with the truth about his knowledge of the matter. But no matter what, this entire scandal should really highlight how disturbing the celebrity world really is, how there's power brokers pulling strings behind the scenes, controlling everyone in the industry, and if you don't fall in line, you can easily be blackmailed, which makes it so that it's almost impossible to know what's really going on. But with more clues like this, people are starting to wake up to how truly awful the celebrity industry truly is.
I mean, I always knew, man. That's gross, bro. That is disgusting. My God. What is wrong with this world, man? They shot my boy Tupac Shakur. Maybe we shouldn't follow celebrities? Yeah, but you guys, you won't, right? But then a million other people will take your place. That's the problem. Yeah. He's just another fall guy to protect the super elite rich. Yeah. We don't know who's pulling the strings behind that guy. That's the problem, chat. Yeah, you lose one person who's like, this is dumb, I'm not gonna listen to their music anymore, and then there's gonna be a bunch of people who will just keep listening to their music or whatever. Diddy was a supplier. If he has a black book or something of that nature, then that's gonna be a big problem. That's definitely gonna be an Epstein.